Let's do a few more examples of finding the derivative of something that has an e function in it. Here we have e to the 4x divided by x to the 12, so that means we need to do the quotient rule. You'll remember that the quotient rule is low d high minus high d low all over low squared. So that's the quotient rule right there. So let's go ahead and apply it here. The derivative would be x12 squared, which is x to the 24, because it's just x to the 12 times x to the 12, which would be x to the 24. Then it would be the low times the derivative of the high. Now, the derivative of the high, we know that the derivative of e to the 4x is e to the 4x. But as we remember from the last video, we need to multiply by the chain rule, which the derivative of 4x is 4. Then we have a minus sign because of the quotient rule. And then it's the high, leave the high alone, times the derivative of the low, which would be 12x to the 11. And that's the answer. You could simplify this a little bit by factoring out some x's and canceling them with the bottom. But honestly, I'm just going to stop right there because there's my function. And if you typed that in, you should, I would hope, get the correct answer. Excuse me, let's do another example. Here we have e to the square root of x minus 15. This looks like it could be difficult, but it's actually not that bad if you remember the chain rule. The derivative of e to the anything, you take the derivative of the outside, it's just e to the anything. Now we times by the chain rule, so we just only look at the power. The derivative of the square root of x minus 15, that would be 1/2 times x minus 15 to the negative 1/2 power. That's because remember that the square root of x minus 15 is the same thing as x minus 15 to the 1/2 power. And so you can use the power rule. The half comes out in front. And then you take 1 off of the 1/2, which gives us negative 1/2. We should now check inside of here to see if there's any chain rule left. The derivative of x minus 15 is just 1. So that means we can stop. So here is actually your final answer. If you have any questions about any of those steps, please let me know. Let's do the last one in this section. What's the derivative of x e to the negative 5x? The derivative of this, in order to do this, we'll do the product rule. So this is f, this is g. So it's f prime g plus fg prime. So start with the derivative of x, which is 1, times leave g alone, plus, now we leave f alone, and we times by the derivative of g. So the derivative of e to the negative 5x would just be e to the negative 5x times the derivative of the chain rule. Well, it's not the derivative of the chain rule, it's using the chain rule. But in any case, the derivative of negative 5x is negative 5, and we're done. You could simplify a little bit, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Please let me know if you have any questions on all of this, and I will see you in the next section.